Hello viewers. I'm really both honored and excited to be able to participate in this YouTube series on career guidance and development that has been initiated by Raza Abbas, who, as many of you will know, is the initiator of many tremendous career guidance initiatives throughout the world. So it's a great honor to be part of this series, and I've been asked to perhaps just answer a few questions relating to career guidance. So from obviously from my perspective. So my name is Avron Herr. I'm the founder at Pace Career Center. We're a career guidance organization based in Cape Town. And I've been in this field. I'm from an industrial psychology background. I've been in this field for the past 30 odd years. Our business looks at essentially how career guidance can impact economic development, not only in South Africa, but on the continent as a whole. And we have branches in several African countries. So the first question has to do with the impact of technology and career guidance, and I think technology has always had the potential to make career guidance more readily available for people. But I think one of the pitfalls is that technology has also brought about this massive volume of content, and it's kind of content that gets added to content that gets added to content, and very often when people are looking for career guidance information and they would do, for example, a Google search, they might find data that's 5, 6, 7 years old or dated or no longer applicable. And so whilst technology has the potential to make career guidance available to everybody, essentially, the challenge for us as career practitioners is to work out how we ensure that the users are getting the most accurate data, the most recent data. Because you'll appreciate that users themselves aren't able to differentiate with regards to career guidance, what's current and not current. And so somehow we have a big role to play in doing that. And one of the initiatives that we've recently introduced as a result of COVID, actually, because we do so much teacher training in terms of career guidance practitioners, training them to deliver career guidance in your school environment. Because we haven't been able to come together, what we have done is we've started to, within our training, we offer each educator a tablet, an entry-level tablet, which has all the content of our training resources, for example. But what's really nice is that every time they turn on the tablet, it kind of uploads the latest data, not only from us, but from very good resources globally. So that way, at least, we know that our educators for some time going forward into the future are going to be having the most current sort of career guidance info. So technology certainly it's like this double-edged sword where it has this potential to deliver career guidance, but it also has the potential to deliver poor career guidance. And so as a career practitioner, we need to just be cognizant of that. So just for example, in order to help citizens in Africa, we developed career guidance systems for 14 countries, so that we know at least that in each country of those 14 countries, the citizens are getting career guidance that's specific to their environment and to their economy and to their needs. And that way it just facilitates the whole search process that teachers and youth in these various countries have to navigate. So the next question relates to policy and the impact of policy on career guidance. And you know, the issue around policy is that it depends where the mandate for career guidance lies. And that's very important. So naturally, policy is important for all the obvious reasons, in that it leads to, it's the foundation, right, of your human capital development in your country, so, or in any country. So because it's people that run your economy, and it's the correct match of that person to that position that gets the best result. So for many reasons, career guidance obviously must be part of policy. But the issue that we often find, especially in Africa, is that the whole concept of career guidance is often misunderstood, and because of that, it is found to be in the wrong ministries or the wrong government departments. So for example, I mean, we all understand that career guidance is a developmental process, right? So it starts when you're young and it ends after retirement. When you decide that at some point when you decide you don't want to contribute from a work perspective anymore. But you'll find that in some countries, for example, Namibia, which is one of our neighbors, you'll find that their career guidance sits within their Department of Employment. The same was in South Africa, where I'm based, that career guidance was originally placed in the Department of Labor. And those departments focus on people's needs after school. So you can start to understand that if your whole department's focus and policy is on people after school, then the career guidance that's being issued does not have a developmental approach. And so whenever we look at a country's career guidance policies, the first thing we look at is where's it seated, which ministry, and we lobby very strongly that career guidance gets shifted to your basic education ministry, your education ministry, so that policy can be built into your education framework and thereby into your curriculum, so that career guidance can take place as a compulsory component within your school curriculum. And if career guidance is compulsory at school, then you can appreciate the quality and the maturity of the decisions that people are going to be making later on is much better than if they're faced with career guidance for the first time after they've left school. And many schools do offer career guidance in the absence of policy, but that should not be confused between career guidance being a compulsory outcome versus people doing it because they think it's important. And you'll find that the way in which career guidance is delivered is very much dependent on the people delivering. So in some schools, if there's no policy, you'll find no career guidance is happening. But in other schools, you'll find that there is, if your career guidance teacher is very attuned to career guidance. So the whole thing about policy is that it's the basis upon which career guidance gets delivered, and where it is placed is really critical to how it gets delivered throughout a person's life. So the other important thing, of course, regarding to policy is that as soon as something becomes policy, governments can start to allocate budget towards it. So without policy, you're going to struggle to get national budget for it. So So it's important that we strive and continually push and lobby to have a policy framework for career guidance, and ideally that policy framework should be within the education sector, so that we can start it early and we can start to unlock budgets early. Which really brings us to the third question, which is how do we continue to deliver career guidance when there are budgetary cuts, right? So naturally, one wants to try to experience some form of. So in my opinion, the thing to do with budgets is that we need to be clear on what we are asking money for, right? So if we are approaching national departments or even funders for budget for career guidance, the career guidance has to have a very specific outcome, and I can only speak from our perspective, but in our case, we look at the impact that career guidance has on developing economies. And so one of the great things that I think we fall short in career guidance is that we don't help to promote our informal sector enough. And as we know, I mean, throughout the world, I think your global figures for your informal economy is around 60-odd%, right? Of people work in the informal economy. But in Africa, it's closer to 80% of people work in the informal economy. And even if you would compare your Western sort of economies to your developing economies, you'll find the quality of work that happens between the two in the informal sector is very different. So, for example, in your developed economies, you'll find your informal sector work could be technology-related work. It could be financial related work. There's a whole range of work opportunities that people create in your Western environments. But in your developing economies, you don't have that same level of education, right? So you find that your informal economy survives on very poor jobs, such as trading on the street and driving of Ubers or taxis or things like that. So one of the big challenges that we as career practitioners have, especially in developing economies, is how do we make the informal sector more attractive to youth who might not have finished school, and what are the careers that they can follow with maybe having a lower education level. I mean, clearly we have a role to play in improving throughput rates at school, but in the absence of that, what do we do as career practitioners? And so when we start to look and ask for budgets, these are the type of questions that we have to answer, and these are the type of questions that we need to ask money for. How can career guidance improve school retention? Or how can career guidance improve the quality of work in the informal sector? Or how can career guidance improve make the informal sector more appealing to the youth? And of course, any country requires a strong formal sector, because it's your formal sector where your tax revenue comes. But don't underestimate the reduced burden on state when your citizens are at least earning some income from the informal economy. And of course, informal businesses over time, with the correct support, do eventually become formal businesses and become taxpayers. So the final question that Raza has asked me just to look at is about an initiative that we introduced about 10 years ago, into schools in South Africa. It runs in about 19,000 primary schools, and the purpose of this is to create early career awareness from well, in South Africa it runs from grade 7, which is basically I think it's like year 5, and the reason it starts there is because it's the first time that careers is written into the curriculum. It's the first time that careers is written into the curriculum is in grade 7, and so because that's the first time it's written in, we needed to have an intervention that would raise career awareness amongst the youth. And so what we did was we initiated this program. It's called Career DressUp Day. The address is careerdressupday.com, and it runs in a number of countries, especially in Africa, which is our interest. But what happens is that on that day, on one day in the year, all the learners in grade 7 go to school dressed up in the career that they aspire to be one day. But preceding that dress-up day, because that happens in the 4th term, so preceding that, in term 1, they get given the task of doing some kind of questionnaires to help them identify or start to work out on their interests. We understand, of course, that interests only become firm much later, but it's an initiation process, right? So they start by looking at the type of things that interest them, try and link those to type of careers, and that your whole research component in term 1. In term 2, they're expected to write a full essay on the career they want to be, why they want to do it, where they're going to study, what the marks are, what the minimum entry requirements are, etc., that they need. And then eventually it gets to the 4th term, and in the 4th term they come with their essay that they've researched and practiced, and they come dressed up in what they want to be, and then they present their career to the class. And I mean, it's an amazing day. You find companies contribute, they come to the school, they tell learners or pupils about the careers in their industry or what they do. And the teachers get involved, and sometimes they come dressed as school teachers as a second career option. And so it's really a lot of fun, but there's a very strong pedagogic base to it. And of course, it starts to build career awareness from a very young age, which then sets the foundation for future decisions that have to get made later on, and for the curriculum to progress upon. So I'd like to thank you for the opportunity to come and just share some ideas. I hope some of the thinking might stimulate other thinking, and I look forward to seeing the future episodes in the series. So thank you so much.